In this video, let's understand about link aggregation in FortiGate. All right. So the link aggregation is a technique that's used in networking. Combine multiple physical links between two different devices that can act as an one logical link or a single logical link. Okay, just consider that you have device A and device B, and you have around or more than one plus link between them, like two or three. All right. So by using the link aggregation method, you can club or bundle all the three links that can act as one logical link. Yes, of course, physically it is a three different link. However, once we configure as an link aggregation, it will act as one logical link. Right. So every vendor has their own name, like in Cisco, it's referred as Ether channel. Here, it's referred as aggregate. Okay. And this logical link appears to the network as single higher bandwidth connection. Okay. The reason why it's considered as a higher bandwidth connection is basically you are clubbing or bundling multiple physical interfaces, right? So the capacity of each physical link is now clubbed. Like say for example, um, you have a two devices again, like A and B. You have established three 1 gig of link, okay, 1 gig connectivity, three 1 gig connectivity between device A and B. Okay. So when you have only one link, it is just one gig, right? Means in my example, I'm taking is a 1 gig connectivity. All right. But when you establish three different 1 gig connectivity and bundle it, then you can carry 3 gigs of traffic, right? So that's the reason it's considered as a higher bandwidth connection. All right. And again, the main advantage of link aggregation is it enhances bandwidth, as said, and redundancy. Like, say, for example, when you have three physical links connected, it's not only limited to three. Okay. When you have more than one link that's bundled as one logical link, even though physically, for some reason, if one link goes down, still you have the connectivity, right? So it make you redundancy and also like load balancing. Like if you have two links in the aggregation, like if you have bundled two link as one aggregation, then you can expect, like you can see the traffic is going through both the link. All right. If you remember in the previous video, like when we were discussing about redundant link, of course redundant link allows us to club two physical interface. However, at a time only one link will act as an active, like it can carry traffic. But here in the aggregation, both the link will be active. For example, like, so this is how your setup looks like, right? Just consider that this is a LAN side and this is a WAN side, and means you have two connectivity. Okay. So when you have a two connectivity, in previous video, like when we are understanding about redundant link, I said you can club two link as a redundant link. However, one will be active at a time, and for some reason the active link goes down, only the second link will come in picture. However, in an aggregate link, both the links are active at the same time, and the traffic can be handled at both the links, so that it will help us to enhance the bandwidth between different devices, as well as it provides redundancy as well. All right. Fine. So this is all about aggregate. Also, means in this video we are not trying to understand more in depth about aggregate or LSAP, because it's in common networking functions. We are going to see like how to configure that LSAP or aggregation in the FortiGate firewall. Right. So that's the agenda. So let's get into our lab and see how to configure it. All right. Let's go to our lab session. Okay, so this is the topology that I'm using here, and if you see here this side I have a Windows PC, and it's connected to a LAN switch, and again from a LAN switch we have a two connectivity towards the FortiGate. All right, and I have connected the internet directly to the port 4. Okay, for this to understand about link aggregation protocol, I have taken this topology, and for this particular thing I have taken this IP segments. Like I'm using 172.16.10.0/24 for this LAN zone, and for this topology I have 10.0.137.254 for NAT. Okay, and also like please be informed that parallelly I'm using two different labs. Okay, so you'll be seeing a different set of IPs for certain labs, and you will be seeing a different set of IPs for a different labs, because due to some resource issues I'm using my own lab, also the rented one. All right. So in a rented one, we will be seeing a different set of subnets, whereas in my own lab we'll be seeing a different set of subnets. Don't get confused with that or fixed with only one set of IPs. Okay, so just to refer to each video, like if you are seeing this subnet in this video, then just stick with that. Okay, don't have anything predefined. Right. Maybe in your lab, once you have deployed, maybe you'll be using the same set of subnets. All right, that's fine. All right. So in this lab, this is the connectivity. Okay. So this is the subnet that's used in the NAT sections. So obviously 10.0.137.254 is acting as a gateway here. And I'll be having either I can use the static, but I'm going to just do a DHCP at port 4 so that it would get any IP address from this subnet. All right. And then will be what I'll do, like I'll be configuring this IP statically here. And in the switch end, we're going to configure a ether channel. Okay. Ether channel, and we'll associate these two interfaces to that ether channel. And then again, we'll come back to FortiGate. We'll be configuring the aggregation link. All right. Let's see how to do it. So first let me start with this PC. So it's a Windows PC. It's actually a Windows Tiny 10. Okay. So let me, username is admin, password is admin here for Tiny 10. Okay. So if you see here, now let me go to network settings. So under Ethernet properties, and for IPv4, I'll use this following IP. Okay, here I'll just give the IP address like 172.16.10.100, right? So subnet is 255.255. It's a /24 network. So I'll put again 255 here. And then default gateway is 172.16.10.1. Okay. So this is the IP address that I'm going to configure at the FortiGate. All right. And it's very important to configure the DNS here. 1 dot uh, 1.1.1.1. All right. Okay. Okay. So now we have configured the IP addresses to it, and if you want to verify it, as this is a tiny core, like means as same as the Linux tiny core we have for Windows as well. It's tiny 10. Okay. It's a light utility. It would act as like Windows 10, but with minimum resources. Okay. So start local, and all right. So if you put like the Windows command ipconfig here, see this is the IP address that we have configured here now. 172.16.10.100 and 172.16.10.1 is the gateway, right? Okay, so this side IP configuration is done now. Let's go to the LAN and we'll configure a ether channel for this too, like a channel group for this too. We don't need to make any configurations at this interface. Okay, it will be going through the default VLAN. You're not going to make any changes. So ETH0/1 and ETH0/2. So like configure, sorry, config, okay, config, host name, let me make it as LAN switch. So first interface ETH 0/1, okay, hit enter. So I'll make it no shut here. Then once I make no shut, so what I should make is like switch port trunk encapsulation dot one q, switch port mode trunk. Okay, then like we can declare ether channel or the channel group configuration here itself. So I'll declare the protocol. Okay, channel protocol LACP, because I want to use LACP. The reason is FortiGate supports LACP, and don't go with PAGP. Right, so by default it's PAGP, it's a Cisco proprietary, but you can go with LACP. channel group, and we can create any number. Means you basically if you put some question mark, right, it would ask you the number. Okay, so this is the port channel number. So I'm just either you can come out and you can put interface port channel and you can create it, or you can just directly you can initiate the command here itself. So as soon as you put the command here, it would automatically create it. So I'll put mode as, if you see there are a lot different types of a mode, like based on that what type of you know the protocol you're using. So here, as I'm using LACP, I'm just going with active mode. Okay, see, as soon as we hit the command, it automatically created the port channel. See, right now as same, like let's just do it for ETH 0/2 switch port trunk encapsulation dot one q switch port mode trunk, and then like channel protocol. Let me, as I said, like if you put question mark, you'll see both LACP and PAGP. I'm just going to configure LACP and channel group again one, because I want both interfaces to be part of same group. Mode active. All right. So now both the interfaces like ETH 0/1 and ETH 0/2 are part of port channel 1. Maybe you can just go for port channel 1, no shut, exit, show IP interface brief. The port channel 1 is still down. Show ether channel 1. Sorry, show ether channel summary. All right. We could see both the interfaces added to Ether channel, but it's still it is in down. Okay. Let's check the other side, because we have not configured LACP at this side, right? We have only configured this side. So let's hold. Means basically the configuration at this side is over now. Okay. So now we need to go to the FortiGate and we need to configure aggregation for port 2 and 3. So I'll just go to the FortiGate here. Admin password. All right. So if you go here, interfaces, like as per our topology, we are going to club bundle port 2 and port 3, right? So port 2 and port 3. What I'll do, I'll just create a new here under interface. So if you remember, like there are different interface types, right? By default, it would be selected in VLAN, but I want to have it as an aggregate, right? So I made it as aggregate. Then here by selecting aggregate link, then aggregate like 1. Okay, it's up to you, like you can give any alias name for your understanding. Okay, then when it comes to interface, now we need to define who are the members they are going to part of this particular aggregate. Okay, that's port 2 and port 3, because that's what available, port 2 and port 3 as per our topology, right? All right, so and it's part of LAN, so I'll just make it a LAN only, and here I need to configure IP address. So as per our topology, this is the subnet 172.16.10.0/24, where 10.1 is the IP that we need to configure at FortiGate, right? So for management purpose, I'm just enabling ping. Okay, select OK. That's it. So now the aggregate came up. Okay, so let me just go back to the other side. So immediately once we configure the aggregation on the other side, we see we see the notification that this is coin, right? So earlier, if you see here, we see the status as SD, right, which says that D refers to down. All right. So now if we check, we should see that coming up. All right. See SU. So it refers as up. All right. The capital up in use. Okay. All right. So now it confirms that we established a Ether channel, or means the LACP aggregation between these two ports. So there are two connectivities between this LAN switch and this FortiGate firewall, and both of them is not acting as a single interface like different interfaces or different ports. They are clubbed together, like they are bundled together, and it acts as one logical interface. All right, fine. So now if we go to the Windows machine, we should be able to connect to. If we try to ping 10 dot, sorry, not 10, 172, right? 172.16. We'll just make it big. Okay, so 172.16.10.1, we should get responses. See, we are getting responses. Like basically from this PC, we try to reach this one, which has where we have clubbed and we have given this IP, right? So we are getting a response to it. Now, if we want to make this traffic towards internet, we, as you know, like we need to, in addition to the interfaces configuration, we need to have a route and then to add a firewall rule. Okay. So, so before that, let me see. Yeah. All right. So if you see the port 4, right, it's already configured. Like I have, I can show you. So if you see here, I'm using yeah, for port 4, this is defined as a WAN, and also I have enabled DHCP so that it got an IP address 10.137 dot sorry 10.0.137.135. So from this slash 24, I got an IP 135, right? Fine. So let me check routes to see whether I have added it earlier. No, not yet. All right, let me create one route. So as this is a NAT network, right? I'm creating it and I'm pointing my gateway towards that NAT interface. That is one. Oh, it's not 172. It's 10.0.137 dot. It's 254. Okay. So my device got IP from 135, but 254 is the gateway for this NAT network. And once it reaches there, and from there it got netted and goes to the internet. All right. I'll just go here 254, and as soon as I put this IP, it automatically taken the WAN interface as this thing. And like okay, we have created a route, and then let me come here to firewall policy. Under policy, there is option like firewall policy, right? So I'm coming here, just create new. We'll create a simple security policies. As you know, we are not exploring more about security policies now. We'll be covering that in the upcoming session. So we are just going with the default or minimal settings of security policies. So the incoming interface is now this time it should be an aggregate interface, not individual ports. See, so now it's available. So aggregate link 1 is nothing but the bundle of port 2 and 3. All right, it's a logical link. So outgoing link is port 4. Source could be any, so that means all. I put this one all, and destination could be any, like all right, and also like services all, accept, and then all sessions. Okay. So the firewall policy is created. Now let me check whether I'm able to reach to the internet from here. All right, let me refresh. All right, see, now I'm able to reach to the internet. Earlier, I was able to reach to the gateway. Now, as soon as I configure this thing, like as soon as I configure the route and the valid security policy, right, the firewall policy to reach the traffic to internet, now I'm getting the response. All right, so you can just check here. See, so we have initiated ICMP pings, right? So that we are seeing this ICMP traffics, all right? And also, like if you want to check something, you can just open your browser and you can access anything like Amazon or Facebook. See, we are getting a response. So basically, it confirms that we are connecting to the internet. But again, this traffic is going via the aggregation link. It's not a physical link. Okay. So this is how we need to configure the aggregation in FortiGate firewall.